This is a business that is filled with very large egos and a great deal of insecurity. And story is where it all begins. If you don't have the story, you don't have anything. So one of the things I've thought about for a long time is why do writers seem so interchangeable? Why is it that we'll just bring in somebody else and they'll do a better job of it? Because often that's not the case, and often what happens is you have multiple writers and then they go back to the original writer. I think it's about power. And I don't mean that in a way that's cavalier. I think that you have many very talented but also very deeply insecure people that work in a business, and on many levels, except for writers, or artistic people, directors, whatever, they know that they have nothing to do if there isn't a great story. And I do think that there is an issue of the power balance. And so I want to seem like I have, as the titular executive might be thinking, I want to seem like I have control of this project. And if I just have one writer and it seems so easy and it's great, then what am I doing? What do I bring to the party? And I think that a lot of people justify their existence in this business. And part of the way they justify it is by splitting hairs about if the story is working or it's not working. Now that doesn't mean that there's no difference between a story that doesn't work and a story that does. Obviously there is, and I don't think anybody sets out to make a bad movie. They don't. But this is a very strange phenomenon where writers are displaced very often. And it's very common to see in the trades, such and such screenplay was bought, written by Joe Blow. To write it will be, it's like, well, if Joe Blow wrote it and came up with this great idea, then why wouldn't you keep Joe Blow on the project? And of course, there could be many factors as to why you don't. But I think that a lot of it has to do with control. A non-creative person doesn't really understand where creativity comes from. They really don't. They recognize it, and they sometimes can be excellent at managing it and excellent at putting together projects and all the stuff they're supposed to be doing. But they truly don't get how somebody comes up with those things. And it's threatening because of that. So one way to lower the threat is to get rid of the writer. Because, well, we've already bought the magic, so let's just bring somebody else in to now do our bidding. And I don't think too many people are going to say that that's the way it works, but I think that there are many cases where it works that way. They just don't want to give up the control over the project. And when you have a magic ingredient that you cannot manufacture and you cannot understand, then you lose control. And nobody in this business wants to lose control. So that's my opinion about why there is a lot of changeover with writers, because often you have very competent writers, very gifted writers working on the same project, and you're kind of like, and among writers, like sometimes they'll call each other up and go, I'm really sorry, like you got kicked off the project and now I've got it. How about if I talk to you about, what I'm going to do? And it's like, yeah, whatever, don't worry about it. And then often they'll come back to the original writer. It's really, I think, just to destabilize and just to say, yeah, you know what, you're not so special, even though the only reason we're doing this project is because it's special. So it becomes this kind of schizophrenic little round robin